Now we're going to get some financial advice now. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank is joining us. She's via Skype this morning. Barbara, thanks for joining us. We all know how hard this is hitting the economy. We've seen these layoffs. We've seen people struggling with student debt. Small business owners especially are getting hit so hard. And I know you've invested in a lot of businesses as a Shark. What kind of advice are you giving the small business owners you've invested in?
You know, George, small business is not so small. It employs almost half the workers in the United States. And I can tell you they're scared and worried, every one of them. The first, most important thing is to keep your employees engaged online. So many people are working out of home or offices have been closed up. You need to keep them engaged online in FaceTime or Google Hangout to keep the morale up and the teams tight. That's the only thing that gets people through tough times. The next is you have to have an open and honest discussion, as tough as it is. It's not fun to be a boss and to tell people what's happening and that you're going to have to lay off people. But you have to make those changes quickly. Laying off people is terrible, but reducing everybody's income by 25% across the board is better than losing a third of your people, and you have to make those tough decisions. And last, if you have a credit line, and so many small businesses have credit lines, they don't use them. You've got to draw that credit line down right now when you don't need the money. Because once you need the money, the banks are not going to give it to you.
And Barb, we're going to turn to some questions from our viewers. And the first is about pay cuts that so many people may be facing right now. And Anita on Facebook asks, if we work for small companies, not guaranteed pay, what happens to our house when the payment is due next month, along with water and electricity?
Well, first off, don't assume you're going to be thrown out. The bank doesn't have any interest in getting you out of your house, and they typically will work with you if you're going to call them immediately and tell them you're having a problem. They will usually adjust the mortgage payments and allow you to make partial payments until you're back on your feet. And if you're worried about the utilities, interesting, through this crisis, the providers out there are giving payment forgiveness immediately. The great majority are. So they're not going to turn off your utilities. So you need to take that off your worry plate. You're not going to lose your utilities whatsoever.
And Barbara, what about people who rent?
Rents are very similar. Landlords don't want to lose you as a tenant because no one's moving right now. It's the worst nightmare for every landlord out there. So they are willing to waylay part of your rent if you give them an early heads up. And in New York City, the city has declared a moratorium on all evictions. So for right now, you're perfectly safe. Even if you were unable to pay your rent, you cannot be asked to move.
Okay, Barbara, we are hearing from so many viewers, as Michael said, and one is a student, and his name is Brandon. Listen what he has to say.
Good morning, America. My question is, what can students do who don't have a job anymore because their university or college switched to online-only instruction?
Well, Brandon, this is a time where you're going to have to figure out what skills you have that are extra, something that you can make a side hustle out of, something you can make extra money on. If, for example, you have a talent in graphic design, you've got to post everything that you do on Fiverr and Upwork and get extra work. There's plenty of people out there that are looking for it. If you're a strong student, you could offer homework help. There's tons of kids at home, or online tutoring in whatever your expertise is. And you can advertise your services so easily today on the community board called Nextdoor, where everyone sees that you're local and what you have to offer. It's just a matter of joining the gig economy and finding something else to hustle with.
Well, a lot of good advice there. Thank you, Barbara.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.